Hey there ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new card review. So in this review, I received a request from one of my friends here in the interwebs named FireKniteGenUltra. He's been a good friend to me for a good long while, so I think it's about time to get his request done, and that will be Ancient Flamvell Deity. So with no further ado, let's fire up this review. Sadly, the only picture of the card I can find is the secret rare version. I know there's another rarity of this card that I can have a clearer look of its artwork, but I couldn't find it. So in this review, I found a picture of the artwork, and I'll be checking out how awesome it is and how great the artwork is. For what we can see here is one badass looking armored man with fire on the top of his head and shoulders. The color on its armor is a bronze color, with some yellow lining on some parts of its armor. Looks awesome if you ask me. It's wearing some kind of cloth around its waistline, which that shit is also on fire. We can see a lot of fire on the monster and all over the background as well. It's like he's in an endless hellfire inferno or something like that. I like the pose he's doing too. Him crossing his arms like that makes this guy look like a total badass. So overall, I like the artwork of this guy. He's one awesome looking monster. So my score for its artwork is a 4.5 out of 5. Let's check out the effect. It needs one fire tuner and one or more non-tuning pyro type monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, remove from play cards from your opponent's graveyard up to the number of cards in their hand. This card gains 200 attack for each card removed by this effect. Wow, this effect is pretty beast. Once this guy is summoned onto the field by a synchro summon, you can remove cards from your opponent's graveyard up to the number of cards in their hand. That's pretty good. With this effect, it'll screw your opponent over. But that's not all. This card gains 200 attack for each card that was removed by this effect. Damn, that's tough. So let's do some good old math here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say your opponent has 6 cards in their hand. You summon up this guy. You just remove 6 cards from your opponent's graveyard, and you gain 200 for each card removed. So 6 times 2 is 12. So that means you gain 1200 attack. And let's add that up with Flamvell Deity's attack. 2500 plus 1200 equals 3500. That's a lot of power. So yeah, I think this card's effect is pretty awesome. I think it works very well. So my score for its effect is a 4.5 out of 5. So what deck type will Ancient Flamvell Deity be good in? Anyone? Oh come on, it's not that hard of an answer. Okay, I'll stop fucking with you all. It's Flamvells. Flamvells is a pretty interesting archetype. All Flamvell monsters, not including Flamvell Guard, have 2000 defense power. So pretty much they're walking glass cannons, but if you play them right, they can be pretty deadly in the battlefield. So in deck choices, I'll be looking up 5 Flamvell monsters that I like, along with 2 spells and 2 traps. So let's get started. Let's look at the most well-known Flamvell in this archetype, Flamvell Firedog. Not only is it a high attack level 4 monster, but it has a very good effect. Once this dog destroys one of your opponent's monsters by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon a fire monster with 200 or less defense except Firedog. This effect works because all Flamvells have 200 defense. Hell, you can even choose another fire monster with 200 defense or less like Flame Tiger. This next Flamvell is not great in effect, but Flamvell Magician is a great combo with Firedog's effect, and due to Magician being a tuner and it's level 4, think of the Synchro Summon possibilities. Neo Flamvell Origin is a good card if played right. If you have a Flamvell on the field except itself, and if your opponent has 3 or less cards in their graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Like I said, this card is useful if you play it right. Laval Magma Cannoneer may not be a Flamvell, but he works just as well for Flamvells. Up to twice per turn, you can discard 1 fire monster from your hand to the graveyard to inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. Let's look up one Synchro monster that works well with this deck, and that will be Red Dragon Archfiend. You all should know how it works by now. If not, then look up the DragonKnightGenUltra request review just to see what it does. Let's check out the spells. There's one spell card that works very well with Flamvells, and that will be Rekindling. Once played, you can special summon as many fire monsters with 200 defense from your graveyard, and once it's your end phase, they are all removed from play. This card is pretty useful for allowing you to think of what you want to do for as a synchro summon or even an exceed summon. It's very useful. Circle of the Fire Kings is a good card to use as well. Once you play this card, you target one fire monster you control and then one fire monster in your graveyard. Destroy the selected monster on the field and then special summon the one you chose from the graveyard. Pretty awesome, right? Now for traps. Flamvell Counter is a very useful trap for Flamvells indeed. When a spell or trap card is played, you can negate the card's effect by removing a fire monster with 200 defense from play and destroy the card. Backfire is good for a lot of fire decks. Once a fire monster of yours gets destroyed by battle and is sent to the graveyard, your opponent takes 500 points of damage. So Ancient Flamvell Deity will be great with, well, Flamvell decks. No shit, right? So my score for deck choices is a 3 out of 5. So overall, Ancient Flamvell Deity is a pretty awesome card by art, effect, and it will be great in Flamvell decks. I have to thank FireKnight for allowing me to review this card for him. So a link to his channel will be down in the description box down below. So what's my final score for Ancient Flamvell Deity? Well, it's getting the overall score of a 4.2 out of 5. That's it for this review, and if you guys have any cards you want me to review for future reviews, just leave a comment down below and I'll see what I can do. So next time, I'll be reviewing Earthbound Immortal how the fuck you pronounce that? You know what? Lizard Thing. There you go. So next time I'll be reviewing Lizard Thing. So remember guys, comment, rate, and subscribe. This is Dragoon 7, and I'll be seeing you all next time.